What's up, YouTube? Dal here from Zephyr War Games, bringing you something insanely interesting. So Rob, who is actually Sovereign in this kind of duel, saw a very interesting deck online. Now, this interesting deck came from Kalcite, so thank you so much to Kalcite for letting me show this profile off. So the profile is, once I zoom in a little bit, it's actually called Prank Kids Dogmatika. Now, I thought when Rob told me about this, I was like, what? How does it, what? Basically, there's a 2-card combo that the deck can pretty much abuse. And in doing so, they actually end up gaining advantage. So they build their board with disruptions, with involvements, and then they regain that advantage during their opponent's turn. So this is a deck list in front of you. I'll go over it in a bit more depth after you've seen the combo, so you can kind of see where it works. And how it kind of operates. But you can see you've got a pretty much standard Prank Kids lineup with Roxy's dropped down to 2, which makes sense to me. Then you've got the Dogmatika engine of 3 Ecclesia, 1 Maximus, 1 Philidius, triple Ash, double Nibiru, which is interesting, and double DD Crow. Then got double Prank Kids Place, which again is also quite interesting with no terraformings. Double Pandemonium, 1 Prank Kids Pranks, triple Nadir Servant, double Thunder Dragon Fusion, 1 1-for-1, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Imperm, 1 Instant Fusion, triple Imperm, and 1 Prank Kids Place. Now, literally the idea is that either Nadir Servant, Ecclesia, Maximus, or any Prank Kid, so any of those lot and then any Prank Kids equals this 2-card combo. So I know you guys are just as excited about as I am. So let's have a look and check this out. So I'm going to fast forward it and I'll pause it when we get to the points on this one. So again, thank you so much to Kalcite for bringing this to us. Now you can see this is just testing. So he reveals his hand. He's got 1 Prank Kids, which is Fancies, and he's got Ecclesia in the hand. So the idea from here, from this 2-card combo, from my assumption, is you're going to do pretty much the standard Prank Kids play. So your Fancies is going to, of course, go into the Meow Meow. That will then trigger Fancies to get an effect off. And then by triggering that effect off, so he writes in the comments here, any Prank Kids monster plus Nadir or Ecclesia or Maximus gets you this combo. So we're going to keep going through on the next plays. So he sends Prank Kids Pranks from his deck and summons out Lampsies. Then using Lampsies and Meow Meow goes into, I'm assuming Doodle Doo. Yep, there you go, goes into Doodle Doo. Burns for 500, Lampsies effect goes off, bringing out Dropsies, and add in Pandemonium off of Doodle Doo. Then you're going to he uses Doodle Doo's effect to add back Lampsies and Pranks. Activate Pranks effect, discarding Lampsies to give him a token. Now he can make a link to, which I believe is Bow Wow Bark. So this is where it diverges. You would normally use Pandemonium to go into Rocket, but on this one we're actually going to be using Dropsies effect to get Roxy's from deck. Make a second Bow Wow so you have enough materials for Pranks plus 1 during the end phase. Nice. Use Roxy's to refresh the hand or banish bricks or anything like that. But otherwise he's going to bring out Fancies. Special summon down Ecclesia because he's got an extra deck monster on the board. Which is going to search out Maximus. Banish Bow Wow Bart to special summon out Maximus. Maximus effect sends Titaniclad and the spicy one of not Prank Kids, Predaplant Chimera Phlesia. Now this is where it gets interesting. So, for those of you who don't know this, once per turn during the next standby phase, after this card was sent to the graveyard, you add 1 poly spell or fusion spell from your deck to your hand. So the idea is, as we play this through, it now goes, we're still playing through or resolving Maximus. But the idea is, so basically Sovereign is just for testing purposes. You know, he's like, I've got this, I could disrupt you. So you're going to set the Pandemonium you search. Now keep in mind, you're still going to have 3 cards to play around with. So he passes from here, but you get your main phase, you get your main combo now. So this is where everything goes off. So Titaniclad goes off in the end phase, searches out Philidius. Prank Kids Pranked is going to trigger in the end phase to shuffle back Roxy's, Fancies, and Doodle Doo. And then he's going to get another draw 1. So your hand, at this point, would be 5 cards. You've just replenished your entire hand and built your entire board with Pranks, Fancies, Maximus, Ecclesia, Bow Wow Bark, which can trigger during your opponent's turn, and Pandemonium. So you've got a pretty decent board. And in the graveyard, you've got Chimera Flesia, which is going to search you a fusion spell. And you've got... what else is in the graveyard? Sorry. Meow Meow that can trigger either what I'm assuming is going to be Battle Butler or Bow Wow Bark's effect as well. So let's see how this goes. So let's see where we go from here. Then during the draw phase, he's going to trigger Bow Wow Bark, which is going to add back Lampsies and summon out Dropsies. Oh, sorry, add back Dropsies. So now your hand limit is basically 7 at this moment in time. So you can use Meow Meow to keep it on, but he says, Kalcite saying no, he's going to keep it as it is. So he's going to use Rafflesia. He saved Meow Meow for Butler. So that is going to let you get Thunder Dragon Fusion. So you've basically got follow-up plays for the next turn. Now you have to use Fledius Negate first. Before Butler. So, because Pandemonium locks you into Prankids. Yep, that's correct. And Fledius summons for cost, so always Fledius first. Also, something not to forget, all of your Prankids are protected by card effects from Bow Wow. Nice. So no Prankatops or anything. Very nice. So drops down Fledius. Obviously, your opponent's going to have a monster from the extra deck at some point. And something from there. And then when Fledius is done, you're then going to trigger Pandemonium, which is going to use Dropsies, Fancies, and Lampsies, 2 from hand that you brought back with Bow Wow Bark. Going to put Battle Butler into the extra monster zone. You're going to burn your opponent for another 500 and gain yourself another 1,000. So before your opponent's really actually done anything, they're down 1,000 and you're up 1,000. Up 2,000. Now all you have planning graveyard for recycling and a little bit of attack reduction. Nice. So he's got Plan to Protect. 2 quick effects. You've got the Regeki of the Butler. You've got Plan to Shuffle. If they break your board, you'll have the resources in grave in order to use Thunder Dragon Fusion for another Butler during the next turn. This is all with 2 cards. You also end on 2 cards as well, so you pretty much get paid back. It's great for the grind game. Wow, okay. Kind of fragile. If you Ash the Prankids, special summon Ecclesia and do your Dogmatika plays, fine. The Dogmatika section actually lets this deck play second as well. Yeah, agreed. You also have Prankids and a bunch of bodies on field. So, Butler can then use a Regeki. And that's going to turn the entire board off. And then you just start again. You use one of the Prankids, go into Meow Meow. And you've got full combo again. Lampsies, gain 1,000, burn for 500 eventually, doodle do. So this is going back to Kalcite's second turn. So just keeping track of this. Pandemonium, link 4 into Boral Sword. This is just going to be overkill now. Thunder Dragon Fusion, bringing back Dropsies, Lampsies, and Fancies. Beautiful. There's your Battle Butler. Yeah, and then they just talk about showing over the lists. This is sick. I love this. Yeah, so then admits defeat. Right, okay, fine. So, that is the combo. Now, let's go back to the deck list. Again, apologies for the zoom out. So, all of this looks pretty standard for the Fancies, Dropsies, and Lampsies, right? That all makes sense. Roxy's okay too, I understand that. And then the Dogmatika engine, the Ashes. Having 2 Nibiru is an interesting one, but I suppose you kind of... It's just that ability of, if you don't win the dice roll, you need something to break your opponent's board. I personally quite like DD Crow, because if you're looking at stuff like Dinos, Rocket Lint, stuff like that, you can get rid of their targets before they can do anything with it. It looks like he's relying less on the place, purely for the fact that for the Dogmatikas, he's got 8 cards to get to him. For the Prankids, he's got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, technically 14 ways of getting to the Prankids, which is pretty nuts. And then the rest of it all makes sense. So Cool Bow the Grave for protection. 1 for 1 is another Prankid. Thunder Dragon Fusion, as you saw in the combo. Imperm is another form of disruption. Place as disruption and recyclability. Pranks is again extension and recyclability. Instant Fusion again, get into your rocket. Now, I'm not going to go over the side too much because I think side can pretty much come down to personal preference. But you can kind of see that he's got Lances for all the banished decks. He's got Dark Rulers to turn off the boards. These could easily be drop lists. I think if you can go off on 2 cards, drop lists is really there. Back row hate, front row hate, going first, dealing with hand traps, red reboot, and then the heavy storm duster. So in the extra deck, of course, you've got double Meow Meow, double Doodle Doo, double Bow Wow Bark, 1 Phoenix, 1 Sword, 1 Rocket, 1 Washer, 2 Butlers, 1 Rafflesia, 1 Unst, and 1 Titaniclad. Now, obviously, the main targets you're going to send off of Maximus are going to be Titaniclad and Rafflesia, so that kind of makes sense to me as well. So, yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this. I love the idea of it. I mean, I'm a fan of Dogmatikas. I think they're a really nice deck, and I absolutely love Prank Kids. Like, the second they were announced, I was like, yeah, love this deck. So, I'm actually intrigued in building this physically and giving it a proper run out. So hopefully this can be one of the decks I give a run out to when we go back to locals. I love the fact that Prankers are now a 1-card combo. And it also gives you that ability that if your opponent Nibiru's you early, fearing your Prank Kids plays, you still have the Dogmatika plays to fall back on. So I think that's really, really nice as well. So, cool. All right. Well, again, thank you so much to Kalcite for letting us not only view his combo, but also view his deck list. Thank you so much to Soverite or Rob for showing or getting Kalcite to let us see his deck as well. And I hope you like this. It's something a little bit different. If you have any spicy decks, or if you have any kind of combos or just deck lists that you want to send in to me to review or look over or provide any kind of feedback for, then please do so. And then we can go from there. In all honesty, I don't think there was anything wrong with Kalcite's kind of deck. I think it shows initiative, it shows creativity. Maximus, of course, is a weak point when everyone's prepared for it, but if everyone starts preparing for Rocket Link and stuff like that and doesn't really care about Dogmatikas, a Prank Kids with a Dogmatika engine can really, really catch people off guard. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Kalcite. Thank you so much to every single one of you all for watching. Please smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe so you do not miss out on anything more. Like I said, if you have any replays, any combos, or just a general deck list that you would like me to review and provide any feedback for, then by all means, send it across to us on our Facebook page, and I'll be more than happy to look into it for you. But for now, as absolutely always, guys, stay safe and happy dueling.